All right, so let's proceed with the next sample problem. Actually, this sample problem is very similar with the previous one. However, ang mababago lang dito is yung reinforcement natin. We will have 16 pieces of 28 millimeter diameter of our rebar. Okay, so given pa rin yung ating flange thickness which is 120 millimeter, the effective depth which is 600 millimeter, and the width of the beam which is 300 millimeter. So of course, ang first question natin dito, we need to determine how wide is the effective flange natin. Okay? So let's determine first in our preliminary steps, which is the effective depth. Of course, given na siya as 600 millimeter. However, our overhang flange here will be based on the configuration of our T-beam. Of course, our T-beam here is a interior beam. That's why ang i-consider natin ditong overhang flange width is dalawa, no? So anyway, using this condition, which is first is the 8 times of the thickness of the flange, which is 8 times 120, ang lalabas dito ay 960 millimeter. While dito sa ating second condition, which is the clear span of the beam, then you need to divide it by 2. So given tayo dito ng center to center spacing na 1.5 meters. Kaya lang kasi ang kailangan natin dito ay clear spacing. That's why I will subtract it with the 300 millimeter, yung tigkalahati in each side. Kapag pinagsama mo siya, magiging 300 millimeters na po yun. Then, you need to divide it by 2 so that our second condition here is 600 millimeter. Then, the last one is the clear span of the length over 8. So of course, given tayo dito ng 5.8 meters, kaso kailangan in terms of millimeter yung sagot natin. That's why I multiply it with 1,000. Over 8, ang makukuha natin dito ay 725 millimeter. Okay? So our overhang flange is now equal to 600 millimeter. So para makuha natin yung total flange width, ang gagawin lang natin dito is we need to add the two pieces of the overhang flange, and then we will add also yung width ng ating beam itself, no? So by simply doing this one, ang makukuha nating effective width of the flange is now equal to 1,500 millimeters. Dahil itong flange width natin, magagamit natin yan when we are solving our ultimate moment. So first, let's determine the area of compression block. Of course, magkakaroon tayo dito ng two cases of area of compression block. First, if the value of A will not exceed to the 120 millimeter, so kapag dinerive po natin yan, magiging base of the flange multiplied by A. The second one naman is kapag lumagpas na po yung value ng ating A sa 120 millimeters, which is this one. So of course, para ma-derive po muna yung general formula for the area of compression block, what you need to do here is you need to multiply the width of the flange sa ating 120 millimeter. So of course, para makuha mo yung area nung nasa baba, ang gawin mo muna dito is kunin mo muna yung difference between A and 120 millimeters. Then para makuha mo yung area, just multiply it with our width, no? So ito yung gagamitin natin dito, no? Okay. So let's have the first step natin sa pagdetermine natin ng ultimate bending moment. So first, steel failure assumption tayo, which is I will assume here that the steel will yield. At the same time, I will assume that this is under case number 1. Ibig sabihin lang po nun is hindi po lalagpas ng 120 millimeters yung magiging value ng A ko. Okay? Ngayon, let's proceed now in using the equilibrium compatibility. So of course, I will direct substitute yung aking area of compression, which is A times width of the flange. So makukuha kong value ng A dito is now equal to 152.702 millimeters, which is this is greater than 120 millimeters. Ano ang ibig sabihin yan? Hindi po nag-satisfy yung ating first assumption. Dahil ang assumption natin dito, dapat yung value ng ating A, hindi po siya lalagpas ng 120 millimeters. Kaso, ang nakuha nating value is 152. So lumagpas po siya ng 120. So ano lang ibig sabihin niyan? Ang ibig sabihin po niyan is kapag namali na po tayo or mali yung assumption natin doon sa case na yon, kailangan natin mag-switch up on the other cases. So this time around, I will use the second case, which is dapat yung value ng A, it should be more than the thickness of the flange of 120 millimeters. So ibig sabihin, I will use this equation kapag babalik na ako dito sa aking compatibility equation or sa equilibrium compatibility natin. Okay? So substitute lang natin yung ating equation dito, lalo na yung ating area of compression, yung kabuuan mismo. Tapos kapag sinubstitute din natin yung ibang given at ang unknown na lang natin is value ng A, ang makukuha natin dito is 283.51 mm, which is this is greater than 120 mm. Ibig sabihin lang po niyan, nag-satisfy po yung ating second case in terms of area of compression. Kaso, hindi pa tayo pwedeng matapos dyan kasi kailangan pa rin nating i-prove yung naging assumption natin sa ating mga rebars. That's why, ang next na kukunin ko dito is the area of compression, the height of compression block, which is using ating beta 1 and yung nakuha nating A. Ibig sabihin lang po niyan, this is now equal to 333.541 millimeters. Okay? So, ibig sabihin po nun, sa ating checking of assumption, kapag kinuha na natin yung rebar strength, ang makukuha nating actual value dito is 479.328 megapascal. In comparison with our 415 megapascal, the yielding strength, ibig sabihin po niyan still yields. Another interpretation dito is tama po yung naging assumption natin sa reinforcement and also sa ating case for our area of compression. So, ibig sabihin lang po niyan, pwede na tayong kumuha ng ating bending moment. Kaso, pagdating natin sa ating bending moment, we will consider here two parts. Kasi ngayong itsura ng ating area of compression dito is ano na siya, composite area na po siya. No? So first, let's determine yung ating strength reduction factor. So yung value natin ng 479.328 megapascal, this is between 400 and 1,000 megapascal. So ibig sabihin lang nito, this section is now under transition controlled section. So ibig sabihin lang yan, kailangan natin gamitin itong formula na ito para makuha natin yung value ng ating strength reduction factor, which is 0.683. Alright, so sabi ko nga kanina, kapag tayo ay kukuha ng bending moment or ng ating flexural strength, hahatiin natin to sa dalawang segment. The first segment here, yung nasa flange itself, no? So para makuha natin yung nominal strength ng ating section, so una, yung first moment na makukuha natin ay based on flange, yung nandito. The second one naman ay it will based on the web section, kung ano yung nasakop ng ating value ng A. Alright, so kunin muna natin yung nominal strength ng ating flange section. So by simply doing this one, atong equation na na-derive natin earlier, so let's substitute everything and also consideration ng ating moment arm. So ang makukuha nating first nominal strength dito is 1,735.02 kilonewton meter. The second one is yung nasa web section, itong nasa ilalim natin. Okay? So, we will consider this equation. So, yung nasa baba na yung consider natin. At kapag sinubstitute natin dito, ang makukuha nating second value of the nominal strength is equal to 348.701 kilonewton meter. So, kapag pinag-add mo yung dalawang nominal capacity natin, ang makukuha nating value dito is 2,083.721 kilonewton meters. Kasi kapag na-total na natin sila, we can now determine the design flexural strength. Which is para makuha natin dito yung ultimate strength, i-multiply mo lang siya with our strength reduction factor. So our answer here for the moment capacity of this section, this is now equal to 1,423.293 kilonewton meters.